Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Well, today we're looking at a compact camera. It's a micro four thirds camera, been around quite a long time, but we're looking at the Olympus E-PL10. Now, the reason why I'm looking at this very compact, rather nice camera actually, is because for a long time I've been looking for a great compact I can just take with me all the time. Now, I have got the Sony RX100 Mark VII, which we have here, and this is still one of my favourite compact cameras. I keep in a pouch or in my jacket pocket for when I do go out and about. I don't want to take all my camera gear, but I still want to get decent pictures. Now, I'm well aware that the vast majority of us use mobile phones for taking our photographs. Mobile phones have one massive advantage as far as I can see. You can upload directly to social media without having to connect a camera to your phone to be able to upload those images. And when you're taking family pictures, as a lot of us want to be able to do that. That's where these compacts are lacking, is the connection to be able to connect it to your mobile phone. But the plus side with either of these compacts is image quality. Mobile phones are great, but I don't think at the moment they're getting close to the image quality you can get from a much larger sensor, certainly in low light. But I still use my mobile phone quite a bit, but I don't use it as much as I would use one of these compacts. The other great thing with these compacts, for me, maybe because I'm an old guy, I don't know, but I love the traditional way of actually holding the camera to take a photograph or video with. And I love being able to do that. With a mobile phone, I find it cumbersome. I have got various grips I can use with my mobile, but it's extra bits and pieces you have to take with you, where this, you just shove this in your pocket. So that's what we're looking at today, is the Olympus E-PL10. Now, it's a micro four thirds sensor, 16 megapixel micro four thirds sensor. So it's a nice size sensor, not as large obviously as APS-C and certainly not as big as full frame, but certainly larger than a mobile phone and larger than your 1-inch sensor that you'll find on your Sony RX range or the Canon GX. Is it GX, the little compact cameras from Canon? But all said and done, still great images. Now, with the Olympus, the biggest advantage with the Olympus over the Sony is being able to change the lenses. Now, this micro four thirds mount, as I said, so you can just change the lenses, and then there you can see the mount, the actual sensor inside the E-PL10. It hasn't got phase detect points. It's quite an old sensor. It is only contrast detect. But for me, for taking photographs, I found it absolutely perfect. I've not had any issues with it whatsoever. I leave the camera set in its wide. There we go. I leave the camera set in its what you would call that, the focus points it picks up wherever it is in the frame. There's 121 focus points, and I just leave it set to auto, so I don't have to fumble around looking to find where I want it to focus on. If I did want to do that, it's ever so easy on this camera. Even though it's set to auto, I can just simply, let's take my lens cap off, I can just simply tap the screen, and then that will set the focus point. That'll override the actual wide area that the camera will select itself. So you can actually just tap on the screen. You can see there, it just selects its own, it selects a point where you tap it. So that can very quickly override the automatic settings. And once you take a photograph, then that will default back to the wide shot, or you can manually default back to the wide just by pushing the OK button in the center there. So nice setup. It's a really nice setup for taking it out of my pocket or my jacket or whatever, and then I can just very quickly just take a picture, and if I do want to set it manually, I can do that as well. So it's nice and easy. There is no viewfinder with the E-PL10. it is reliant on the screen on the back of the camera. But what you can do is increase the brightness. It's a little bit fiddly, unfortunately. I wish I could pre-assign one of these function buttons to actually change the exposure level or the brightness level of the screen. I can do that with my little Sony RX100 Mark VII. I've pre-assigned the trash can button, so I can set that to sunny weather, and it's a much brighter screen. Although the RX100 VII does have a pop-up viewfinder, which is rather great. Now, I will be doing a video comparing the image quality of the RX100 VII against the Olympus at some point. But just so you know, they do compare very favourably. It's quite staggering, really. But where they don't compare is the fact I can change lenses. Now, on the E-PL10 at the moment, I have got my Panasonic 14mm lens on there. It's classified as a pancake lens. Now, again, the other great thing with Micro Four Thirds, there's hundreds of lenses. The two main ones is Panasonic and Olympus, but there's many other lenses from third-party manufacturers, even the third-party Chinese manufacturers such as Viltrox, 7 Artisan and various others. So there's a great selection of great value, really good quality lenses available for Micro Four Thirds. That's the little Panasonic 14mm pancake lens. I use that because A, it is pancake, it makes it nice and small, and it's a prime lens, so you're going to get better quality than you get from the zoom lens. I quite often keep, well, I do always keep in the bag the Olympus, I don't know what that is, 14 to 42, yeah, 14 to 42 kit lens. I always keep that in the camera bag. That's a nice, you know, lens. It's not amazing image quality, but it's pretty decent image quality. It's certainly decent as long as it's not blowing up to massive print sizes. You'll be able to get A4, even A3 size prints out of photographs taken with that particular lens. And you know, that is basically the size of the camera body. Now, it hasn't got that many function buttons, and it has only got the one control dial on the top of the camera. Well, that's fine for me because I'm not using this for taking professional images with. I want to be able to go out and just take nice photographs. So if I've got it set to aperture priority, that control dial will control the aperture, or shutter priority, it will control the shutter speed. You know, so pretty straightforward, really. It's actually quite a decent vlogging camera. It has got your tilty screen. It tilts downwards, which is great because if you've got a microphone or any accessory port in the top here, it's not going to obscure the screen. I say a microphone in the top. There is no mic jack on this camera, so you are reliant on the built-in microphones, but as a vlogging camera that would do the job. You can see your audio levels as you're recording on the screen, which is, you know, which is nice. At least you can see that the audio is coming through, although you can't monitor it because there is no headphone jack. What I would probably do is use an external microphone. I'm using my Full Aim X5 wireless microphones today, but if I use these microphones, it's got a recording feature on the actual microphone, so I would actually record the audio separately, then edit it or match it together, you know, when I come to edit it. So there's that flexibility as well. It's a, you know, nicely made camera, really nicely made. Not particularly heavy, but you know, really nice design. Not many buttons on the back of it, but enough to be able to do what you want to do and set it up the way you like to take your photographs or shoot video. It has got tripod mount, battery compartment, one SD card slot, obviously. Power switch is on the top. I'm going to come back to that in just a minute, actually, because that does annoy me. But yeah, battery compartment, BLS 50 battery, quite a common battery for Olympus cameras. A really small compact battery, and the SD card slot is in the battery compartment, which I've never liked, but you know, it is what it is. Most manufacturers seem to do that. I think it's a size constraint, isn't it? A small camera body, you have to, you know, go with compromises. Quite a nice grip, so you can walk around for quite a long time with that. You can see there the grip has got a little indent in there, so put your hand around that to grip that quite nicely. it's a really nice designed camera. It's really nice and compact. As I say, the fact that it has only got the one control dial and no viewfinder isn't a big deal for me, because you can increase the brightness, as I said earlier, to counteract the fact that there is no viewfinder. What we'll do in a minute is just have a quick look at the photographs. I would suggest you look at them on my Smug Mug page. I'll leave a link in the description below. It's much better looking at them there than it is on my YouTube video, because of the compression of YouTube. And also, I'm just going to flick through them. I'm not going to go through any detail with them. So that is the Olympus E-PL10. Now, this on-off switch is a little bit annoying, really, because they put just a button on the top there. It's not a physical switch. And that's annoying, because when I put it in the camera bag, so many times I find that I've left it turned on, or as I put it in the bag, I've accidentally knocked the button and turned it on. So I find that annoying, but it is just that one button there. I wish it was a proper physical switch, as opposed to just a soft button that is easy to knock on and knock off. I would suggest take a couple of spare batteries with you, just in case you do that. You may well find that you would need them. It has got the micro HDMI port on the side, and also micro USB port on the side. I won't be using either, because when I download the images to the computer, I take the SD card out of the camera and load straight into the computer. Although you can use the Olympus QI Share app to be able to download them to your phone. I'm not keen on any of these apps, but this works okay. I'm going to try and demonstrate it now. It probably won't work, but we're going to give it a go. So all you simply do, I say all you do, it's never that simple with any of these phones to connect them to your, any of these cameras to connect to your phone. But on the back here, there's a little icon just at the top here to connect it to your phone. You just touch the icon like that. That'll load up connecting to your phone. So all we do now is load up the app on the phone. So let's now just go to the app. We go to the QI Share app. So that's now loading the QI Share app. Import images. So we click on import images, and in theory that should now connect and actually download the images off the camera onto the phone. So we'll see if it does. Look at that. Flipping out. That is one of the best ones. Display important images. Display. So that's one of the best apps I've ever used, because it actually works. And then you just, well, you can scroll through them now. So you can scroll through the images that are on the SD card on the camera, actually on your phone. How good is that? And you can download them nice and easily as well. So, you know, it's actually a pretty decent app. Now, that was easy. That didn't cause me any hassle whatsoever, where other manufacturers' apps are just so flaky. The Sony one is flaky, the Fuji one is flaky. I find the Nikon one's pretty decent. There we go. So the image is there. I can zoom in apparently, can I? Yeah, I can zoom in and have a little look around the image, check that it's okay. Then I can then upload that to social media if I want to. So yeah, pretty decent app, and I would say well done Olympus for actually, you know, producing an app that actually does work without any hassle. And then just to get out of that, I think all you do now is click menu button, and that takes you out of that. Yeah, that's now disconnecting. So you know, for all of you guys and girls that do like to take photographs and you do like to upload them to social media, that actually does work. So, you know, full marks to Olympus. Although Olympus is now OM Systems, OM Digital Systems, I think, something like that, isn't it? And, you know, obviously this camera is part of their range. This is the bottom of the range. This is the entry level camera. But I think it's fantastic. Now, there is something that's slightly off-putting. Panasonic GX80 is exactly the same. When you pick it up, it rattles. So don't ever be concerned about that. It's not a fault with the camera. What that is, that's the image stabilization. It's 3-axis in-body image stabilization in this particular camera, so at a really low price. I mean, it's great that they have put image stabilization in the camera, but it's a 3-axis image stabilization, and when the camera's turned on, you can hear it moving around inside the camera. When you power it up, that rattle goes because it's now activated the image stabilizer, and it's now, you know, now working. So don't be put off by the fact the camera might rattle when you've got it turned off. The Panasonic does exactly the same thing. Now we'll have a very quick look at the images, because image quality is not just based on how good the camera and the sensor is in the camera. It's obviously based on how good the lenses are. So if you fit cheap lenses, you're going to get a poor result. So you know, I would take it with a grain of salt, the image quality, but these images will be up on my SmugMug page. I'll leave a link in the description so you can have a look at them there, but we'll have a quick look at them now. Now I've got them loaded into ON1 Photo RAW 2023. I'll also leave a link in the description of this video where you can download trial versions of ON1 or Luminar, whatever, you know, lights your candle really. But with ON1, if you do decide you want to buy it, use the code AVP Studios to get 20% off. I mean, it's a great offer for a great bit of software. This software is very similar to Lightroom. In fact, I've not used Lightroom for over a month now since I've been using this software. It's got all the AI features, sky replacement, editing features, everything you can think of, and all the cataloguing features. In fact, cataloguing your images is easier in ON1 Photo RAW than it is in Lightroom. That's what I found anyway. But yeah, if we have a quick look at some of these images, I mean, that was taken on with, that's taken on the Panasonic 14mm lens, all very nice and sharp. The clarity is really nice. So, you know, that's a great lens for, you know, a travel camera really. Great lens to keep on my Olympus all the time. So again, nice sharp images. Colours that come off the Olympus cameras are really good. I really like the colour science that Olympus are using, nice and vivid, very contrasty. Again, that's for 14mm lens. Again, sharpness is very good. It's a great all-round travel lens. As I say, in bright sunlight, this was a bright sunny day, I did have to increase the brightness on the back of the screen to be able to see it clearly, but once you do that, you're fine, you're good to go. So, you know, great. And it handles dynamic range really well. It's got a pretty decent dynamic range. We can have a quick look at this here. So if we look at the exposure levels, we can look at the contrast, highlights, shadows. Let's bring the shadows up a bit, so we can bring a bit more detail in that tree. See that it's brought up a lot more detail in that tree. We can give it a bit of vibrance, hue, temperature, vibrance. Let's give it a bit of vibrance. That gets rid of the it's got dehaze in here as well. We can adjust the color temperature. Not that that needed it, but yeah, very nice. So I've brought up the shadow detail. Oh, I could have just clicked on AI Auto and that would automatically adjust all that for me. I don't need to do it manually. So if we click on AI, that will make all the adjustments, and then there's AI Auto. So there's a lot of features with ON1 Photo RAW for adjusting your images the way you like it, and a lot of AI features in there as well. So yeah, I'm really getting to grips with this particular software and really enjoying it. So as you see, really nice sharp images. Now that's the Olympus kit lens, and that's still producing really nice images. So there we go, a really nice compact little camera, great to shove in your bag or your, I wouldn't say pocket, it's too big for a pocket, but a very small bag it will fit in, and it's nice, light and compact. The fact that it hasn't got a viewfinder, well, mobile phones don't have viewfinders and we've got used to that, haven't we? So just increase the brightness of the screen. Yeah, nice tilty wilty screen. Yeah, great little compact. So hope you found that useful. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Hit the like button if you like the content of my videos. Would really appreciate that. And stay tuned for more videos relating to video photography, podcasting, so on and so forth. Cheers for now. Bye.